Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. This is a general or a collective reading, so parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you, leave the rest. It's timely, so if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that could give you further clarity as to the situation now. I did a little meditation here. I'm gonna turn this around. See if maybe I can't get it to sit there. That's the way. All right, this is a Super 7 crystal. It's really powerful. We do have, for the underlying energy for the deck, is the Chariot. So the Chariot is saying that there is definitely something in the works in the spiritual realm. The Chariot is talking about you being on your designated path, your divine path, your godly destiny. And you're like a tank. Like once you get on that chariot, it just boom, 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 runs over all the obstacles. There's no need for reins, no need for steering. There's just a need for you to make up your mind to hop on. And you can see that this person is leaving the city behind. So sometimes that does require leaving your comfort zone. And whatever's happening with the Chariot is already happening in the spiritual realm and is soon going to be apparent in the physical. And the underlying energy for this reading from my oracle, Tales from the Vector, this is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light, and we have All-Star. She's one of my favorites. She's such a pretty dragon. This is talking about the third eye chakra, using your insight, and that's why she is an all-star. There's a story, the energy of the Pleiades. These are from the Pleiades, these dragons, and their energy, they are seekers of celestial clouds that ride the storm of change throughout the darkest clouds, lighting the cosmos with their essence of truth. And seekers will willingly dive to the darkest depths in their search for truth, because they know it is in the shadows that the greatest treasures are hidden. So this is talking about that fearless desire to seek for the truth. All right, and we do have the Five of Swords. Now the Five of Swords is basically talking about cutthroat energy. This card is, this person is willing to do what they have to fight for themselves. And this is, the energy is this all or nothing energy coming towards them. The people that want to fight are willing to risk it all and to be able to win. And this is cutthroat energy. Now, he has already fought these two, and they have put down their swords. So this is talking about, but he's standing here and he's saying, anymore, because like, I'm gonna fight for what's mine. I'm not backing down here. If you want it all, you're gonna have to fight me to take it. And this is talking about outer conflict coming towards you. And of course, if you have outer conflict, it's going to create inner conflict. So this card is also talking about that inner conflict within your mind. The swords in tarot represent the element of air, and this is like your thoughts. And so the swords represent your mental intelligence and discipline of your mind. And it's talking about this energy of, this can be like three versions of yourself inside and in your internal boundaries and dynamics. And this is talking about the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind. So the subconscious mind is formed by the time you're about 6 or 7 years of age. It is you know, from like when you're a baby, you are like a sponge absorbing your environment. And so the people that are in charge of your care determine that environment. They determine the culture you're in, the religion that you follow, the food you eat, even, you know, the way they approach money, the way they approach love, you know, their relationship with the world basically is heavily imprinted on you. And that follows well. The subconscious mind is, you know, follows us well into adulthood, but we don't really have our own memories of that time. Most of us don't remember when we're a baby, and we might have some memories of before kindergarten age, but not that many. And so we're relying on the people that were in charge of our care to tell us who we are. And when we get triggered, that subconscious mind is often the first one that pops up because it's been with us the longest. And it's not always the most reliable. And then we have the unconscious mind. A lot of people will agree, yes, I'm a human being and I have a soul. But from the soul's perspective, you are a soul traveling in a human body, and this is your vehicle to navigate Earth. And if the soul's needs are not being met, the unconscious mind will become very loud and argue with the subconscious and the conscious mind. The conscious mind, he has a handle on that. He has total memory of what happened. You know, I just cleaned these two guys' clock, and they aren't going to be coming after me anytime soon. But if there's any other takers, let me deal with you now. And that's the kind of energy we're in. This is people that are willing to risk it all to have what he has, and he's also willing now to risk it all to make sure he keeps it. And then we have this energy of, oh, I was just going to mention the inner conflict that the outer conflict causes attracts more outer conflict. So it's important to get the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind congruent with each other. So they're working together, and then that conflict in your inner mind is going to settle, and you can really plug that into your heart's desires, and the outer conflict no longer has the same power over you. And that's the energy of the insight from the all-star dragon. She's an all-star because she knows this. The pentacle energy is talking about health and wealth and happiness in the third dimensional world. This is talking about having, you know, lifestyle, not just about money, but it is represented by coin, because coins in tarot are representing the money, of course, and we need money to be able to be happy in the 3D world. But if you could have the money and then not have love or not have your health, and you're not going to be enjoying the lifestyle that you could be enjoying. So this is talking about more than that, but this is talking about someone that has been investing time, money, and energy into a project or someone or something, and it has disappointed them, and they're wondering, like, they've only got one pentacle back so far, and they're like, whoa. This is someone who's used to being successful, because we have 7 pentacles here in total, and there's only 10 available in the tarot. 10 would be like billionaire, trillionaire. 9 would be like multimillionaire, and 8 would be like millionaire. So this is like 700K energy. So it's not a small amount of time, money, and energy that he's invested into this. And it's talking about wondering, like, what the heck is going on here? Why don't I have a better result like I usually do? And he's wondering, should I keep going? Should I try another? Should I try one more thing here, or should I just give up on this project, call it, and take my loss here and move forward with what I have left to be able to start something else? And then we have hidden illusions and secrets coming in with the moon. This energy is talking about the lobster coming out of emotional waters to stay on their destined path. And no matter how scary it is, because he's thinking, oh my goodness, I feel so vulnerable, like I'm, you know, to go past this, there's a dog and a wolf howling at the moon. And he's like, man, how am I going to sneak past them and stay in between these 2 pillars so that I don't get distracted on my journey? And he's feeling very vulnerable, but he's determined to get back on his path and keep going. Now this energy is talking about the sun the full moon and the new moon. So this is talking about the energy of the solstice, or not the solstice, although we do have this, as I'm doing this reading right now, it is the solstice, the summer solstice. It's the longest day of the year and the shortest night. So maybe that's what this is really representing here. But this is talking about eclipse season. And we did have an eclipse as I'm doing this reading at February 7th and then, or 17th, and then March 3rd. And around mid-August, that energy is going to kind of come to completion. And you might look back at the end of August then, or middle of August to like the middle of February. And you might be really, really surprised at how much your life has changed, or how much you have accomplished. And you were busy doing it, so you didn't notice. So sometimes this energy can say that you've done more than you think you have. And just because it's not necessarily showing up right at this minute does not mean that it's not going to be on the way. And then we have this energy of the star energy, and this is the North Star energy. This is following your North Star, your destined path, your guiding star. And then these 7 stars represent the Pleiades. And this painting is one of the 7 stellar sisters of the Pleiades. So this is a Super 7 crystal, and all of the background here is all of the different crystals that are within this one crystal. And it's talking about them, they were 7 sisters that they would do the rounds of dance and kind of keep time for God and sing songs of praise. And the rounds of dance, the beat for Om. And then when they died, God threw them into the sky and had them land on the 7 Pleiadian stars. And so that's, they're still up there to this day doing the rounds of dance and singing praise to God. And this is talking about that energy coming down to earth. And the biggest way that you can praise God really is to be the best version of you and bring that beauty. And that's what they encourage. The Pleiades energy is about encouraging the knowledge from the celestial. They actually were turned into water nymphs, and scientists have discovered that stars are actually made up of a lot of water, just like human beings. So you are actually stardust in a way. So this is talking about bringing your own special, beautiful qualities down to earth, and bringing that from the heavens and pouring that into the universal soup, and then pouring that out onto the earth. And the earth, this is the earth's, the pentacles represent the element of earth. And so this is the 5 points on this star represent the 5 streams. And so this is talking about bringing beauty to the earth. And that is the job of the 7 stellar sisters, is to encourage humans to honor God's creation. And then we have here the 8 of Cups. So the 8 of Cups is talking about, the cups in tarot are about love. Now, quite often that's romantic, but it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be love of anyone or anything. This is someone walking away from something that they love to do or be, or someone that they're romantically in love with, or it could represent family or whatever, that kind of energy. So, but you're walking, this is about, I feel this energy here that possibly this person has decided, you know, perhaps it's time to just walk away from this project and go upstream and find, you know, take my losses and find something else. Or it can represent an energy of gaining some knowledge and just walking away from a situation just because of the knowledge that a person has gained. This is talking about unfair competition, immature competition. Sometimes this can represent sibling rivalry. So this could be talking about walking away from family because of sibling rivalry. Because it's following this card. And so this is, you know, if you think about narcissistic cheerleaders, it's the best way I can explain it, where they're at a competition, and like I'm talking young, like grade 6 to grade, you know, like 10, and they are at a competition, and they really, really, really want to win. They're used to winning in life. They're on the cheerleading team. They made the team, you know, and so they will, you know, they can see there's another team at the competition that is better than them. Their moves are smoother and they're more in rhythm, and they have like a special move, and they're like, dang, like we're not going to be able to win this competition unless we do something. So they'll cheat, they'll do whatever they have to, trip someone up, whatever, but they have to win. They want that trophy, and whether they deserve it or not. And if they don't succeed, their mothers will pull strings in the background to make sure they do. And this is like missing the whole point of competition, especially in sports. You know, competition, you can really learn a lot from the competition and be inspired by it. And as we mature, we realize, oh, well, we're not really in competition with anyone but ourselves. Because if you can keep your shift together when you're under a lot of stress and still go out there and even be just 1% better than the last time you performed, or the last time you went for a job interview, or the last time you did whatever it is that you're good at doing, that you're going to be that much better every time you go out. And if a whole team has that attitude when they go out the next time, they're going to really actually maybe deserve that trophy. They're going to have improved a lot. When you add a whole team together in that attitude, it can be huge, the shift. This is talking that the walking away is walking away because of disappointment in love. Now, this quite often, if this is romantic love, this these 3 cups here can be representing, you know, 2 cups and then a third party energy. And here we have 5 cups lined up, and then we have 2, and we have a gap here with third cup. So this person could be it could be talking about this person has walked away to be with third party energy, or because of the third party energy you've walked away, or maybe the third party energy and everybody's walking away from everybody. This is talking, sometimes there can even be a conception from this of like another gift, a beautiful baby, but the baby does not belong to the couple. It's not, the parents aren't the couple. And so this, of course, can bring a lot of disappointment if you're the other person in the relationship in particular, and even sometimes if, you know, for everyone, really. This is also talking about maybe you've given someone 3 chances, and they're asking for a 4th chance, and you're like, no, 3 strikes and you're out. Now that could be you know, your partner, your you know, romantic partner, your spouse, whatever that energy is. It could be family members, it could be friends, peers, business associates, and partners. And you know, you're just, you know, which is fair, because to say no, I'm done, because people generally will show you who they are the very first time around. And you know, it usually is in your best interest to believe them the first time they show you who they are, because that's usually pretty accurate. And unless there's a great motivation to change, most people don't. And then this is talking about also, it could just be talking about launching something 3 times, or doing your best to launch something, or you know, being in 3 different relationships, or having 3 different businesses that have failed, and the universe is going, no, it's a really good idea, give it one more go. And you're like, oh, I'm so disappointed, and I feel vulnerable, and I just don't know if I have it in me to put myself back out there. But then, like the lobster, you gotta, you know, you gotta open your shell up so that you can shine like a star, like the all-star you are, and move forward. And you know, that's sometimes the most challenging of all, is to get over that disappointment so you can do so. Yeah, this is talking about wanting to move off to calmer waters with God. This is saying, the rough water here is representing volatile emotions, mixed emotions about about going after what you love to do or be, or being with the person you love to be with, or any of that, because you're just feeling so disappointed in the results that you've had up to now, and you just don't know what to do, really. And that's the sword energy, like being you know, just in chaos, chaotic mind energy. And so this is about wanting to go off to calmer waters. The conveyor has to dig very deep with this long pole to get you out of the rough waters. It's about digging deep within yourself. That's what the All-Star is. She goes into the deepest, darkest nights and to the depths of darkness to pluck out the treasures. And the treasures are the nuggets of wisdom that you learn from being in this position, and that it brings out the stronger qualities within you. As long as you can quiet your mind and move into this energy. So this quite often can talk about, there's an adult and a child here, and there's no baggage whatsoever. And this can talk about wanting to heal your inner child. This may have triggered something in you that is unresolved from your childhood, but it might be buried deep within your subconscious mind. And so you have to be brave and get up from underneath that tree and take a look at it so that you can get what you really want. And then we have the King of Wands here. So the King of Wands is representing that kind of visionary energy. The King of Wands, his element is the element of fire, and it's made of wood. It represents passionate action. Wood fuels the fire. And it's also talking about the deep roots of our ancestors and the descendants that we have. And not just, doing what you're doing for yourself, but having the vision to, what kind of world are we leaving for our descendants. And so the King of Wands is considered to be one of the sexiest of the kings. He is, a visionary, and also he loves adventure. He's got a good sense of humor, and is fun to be with. And he's adventurous, so willing to go out there and try new things and discover new ways of doing things. Someone who likes to travel and be around people and be inspired. And so this energy on the back of his throne here, the salamanders chasing their tail in a circle, and the lion represent it's being protection from fire. And there's a little salamander running here too. But I noticed a while back that this throne, it almost looks like a person. There's two eyes, the nose, and a mustache, and smoke coming out of the mouth and the nose. So this could just mean he's smoking hot, because he is, or it could be that where there's smoke, there's fire. The thing to know about the fire signs in general, that's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Of all the kings, they would be the least likely to settle down early in life. They're very protective of their independence and their freedom. And they, sometimes the energy of wanting new adventure and being a visionary and wanting to explore the new bleeds into the King of Wands love life. So you have to take that into account. If you get into a romantic relationship with the King of Wands, you want to make sure he's, if that's what you want is a relationship, you have to make sure that he's mature enough to do so. And then we have, look at this, the Ten of Pentacles. So look at how the energy shifts from this to this. And so this is about being willing to do that inner work, explore the dark, of your shadow side. That's what the dark is. And then pull out who you really are. What are your authentic desires? What do you really want in life? And so the Ten of Pentacles is representing that, it's quite often this can be a windfall that seems to come out of nowhere. It's just all of a sudden, it's a really good fortune coming towards you, an amazing lifestyle, lots and lots, it's raining money. You got the golden buzzer. People recognizing your talent and, saying, okay, you're at the top now. You're center stage, you're an all-star. And so this is talking about, having the companion, and they love you and you love them, and you're living the lifestyle that you want to live. You have the children, you have the pets, you have time to talk to the neighbors. So this is talking about an amazing lifestyle in a perfectly imperfect world. And it's also talking about a windfall of some sort. It could be unexpected, it could be an inheritance, or sometimes this is representing a lottery win or an investment that you made that, pays back way, way more than you thought it was going to. It's that type of energy. So we have from the bottom going to the top and back down, we have this outer and inner conflict. This is cutthroat energy. Well, usually if there's cutthroat energy, it's because someone knows about this and they would rather have it than you. Bottom line, that's if you ever are in these situations, generally it's follow the money and you'll get to the source of the reason why they would do what they're doing. And so there could be some legal, this quite often can be about, there's some legalities and it's judgment is being made and on the spiritual, and that's going to end up being in the physical as well. And this quite often can talk about winning lawsuits, that kind of energy. This is talking about deciding to get out from underneath this tree and give it another go, and look at it was worth it. It's worth doing the inner work. It's worth exploring your shadow side. It's really hard to do, to look at your dark side, but if you do that, then you have the golden buzzer. And then we have, and the love of someone who's ready to settle down now. I feel that's what that energy is talking about. This is walking away from what's not suitable for you, but there's 2 more cups out there somewhere for you, so that those 2 cups can represent a relationship with someone else after this one failing. And this is talking about your star. You're a star. If you didn't know you're a star, you are. You're an all-star. Use your insight. All right, I'm going to clarify this for those that want clarification. If you're leaving the reading here, thank you for your time and energy. Likes and comments, I really, really appreciate them. That subscribes, it's helping me build my channel. I'm going to clarify with my oracle. I already told you a little bit about it. The numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they are listed. There's 64 of them in the gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. The numbers here are the numbers how they are listed there. And I will put them here so that in the order in the description box below, I'll put the numbers so you know which paintings to look for if you decide that's what you would like to do. We have Gemini energy here. This is, I feel basically, there's 2 things this is talking about as I'm doing this reading. So if it'll be significant for you now for that. There's Mercury's going in retrograde in about a week from now. And so that energy usually can skew communication. So Stella, stop. And this can also be representing an energy. No, stop. Go on. My cat, I apologize. My cat wants to go outside and she can't go out without her harness on. So she knows, like, she has me held captive here. And so she's gonna just yell at me until I quit the reading and go and help her out, but she's sadly mistaken. So the Mercury energy is about communication going askew. An immature attitude. Gemini, so the Gemini energy, what is significant about this also is that Uranus moved into Gemini about a month ago from this reading, and Uranus will be in Gemini for the next 7.5 to 8 years. So this is significant until 2033. And bottom line is Uranus in Gemini wants truth to come out. And so we have a lot of truth coming out. The last time we had Uranus in Gemini was way back in 1941 to 1949. It's coming up in a lot of my readings now, and it will be significant for the next 7.5 to 8 years. So just be aware of the truth is coming out in situations all over the place. And that's what the All-Star is, definitely a truth seeker. And so this is talking about the guiding star. This is talking about following your north node, making sure that you're on your destined path. And then we have the Cancer energy, which is talking about the moon energy, and also about that eclipse, I feel. So that will be, from whenever you're reading this, that would be mid-August 2026. If you look back 6 months prior, around the middle of February, take a look and take stock of what you've accomplished. You might be surprised. Like if you're thinking about quitting something because you feel like you're not getting somewhere, this is saying take a look back to that time, and you may be like, whoa, wait a minute. I've done way more than I thought I have. If I quit now, I'm throwing the baby out with the bath water, basically. And then we have the star on the star, basically. I feel this is saying that you're stepping into your galactic energy here. You are a star. You are meant to be a star. You're meant to shine. If you haven't been shining up to this point, it could be just like you weren't ready. And you had some more lessons to learn about yourself before you get out there. You know, it's less embarrassing that way. And then we have the Aries energy. Yeah, there's a lot of planets. There's a lot of zodiac energy here. There's a lot of astrological energy in this reading. So the Aries, a lot of planets in the last 6 months moved into the sign of Aries and in particular Neptune. So Neptune is moved from Pisces, and it's going to be in Aries for the next 14 years. And that is about doing things in new ways. Like when it was for the last 14 years, Neptune, which is a huge planet, it's about our idealism, how we approach life, like how we learn to do things. And it's kind of this energy right here where, man, it took me 14 years to figure this out. And I finally figured it out. And why isn't it working now? Every time I apply my system, it always works out every time. And why isn't it working? It's so irritating and frustrating. It's because Neptune moved into Aries now about a month and a half ago, and it's going to be there for the next 14 years. So, you know, the way that you were doing things might need to be tweaked a little or changed quite a bit. It's a whole different energy. We went from like Pisces, which is the senior executive, idealistic, you know, sure of themselves, to a newborn infant that's a fire sign yelling its head off because it's not getting its way. And that's the energy that a lot of us are in. And it is annoying. It's like, man, you just finally figure it out. And now what, you want me to just forget everything I went through for the last 14 years to figure this out and do it in a new way that I have to figure out again? It is, a lot of people are frustrated with that energy right now. If that's how you're feeling, it's not just you. Yeah, there's anger is the gift that keeps on giving. This has been coming up quite a bit. It's saying like anger, you know, a lot of people use anger to motivate themselves. But the problem with anger is that it's acidic. And the thing is, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Because if someone's angry, angry people raise angry people. And it doesn't really get you anywhere. Being angry, there's such a thing as righteous anger and using that to motivate you to bring more love in. But if you're angry, you're not, you know, you can't stay in that energy and expect it to motivate you in a positive way. And we have the Empress at the top. This is saying, this is the difference. The Empress energy is saying, after all this hardship that you've been through and all the willingness to stay on your destined path and to have to learn like this damn energy over again, this Neptune moving, it is annoying. I find it like, it's like when your phone updates and now you can't find anything on it and you just figured it out. Now it's like, oh, this is way better, is it? Because I can't find anything and now I've got to take a few hours to figure out how my phone works again. And it's just annoying. And so, but then down the road you admit, well, maybe that was a little bit better. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It depends on who you are. So the Empress energy is saying, the Empress, she is adaptable to change. And she doesn't worry about it. She does the best that she can in the moment and moves forward. She's in the flow. She goes with what the universe, you know, with the universal flow rather than fighting the current. So that's the energy we're in this reading. It's really good advice. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Give it a like and comment. My cat is zooming around all over the place here. I don't know, she's in a weird mood. She's just flying around here like a wild person. What are you doing? All right, I do hope you've enjoyed this. Okay, I'm gonna take you outside. I'm gonna go take my cat outside. Thank you for your patience with this yelling cat in the background. And I will be back with another reading about random shift for you soon. Bye for now.